Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a postpartum video talking about the effects of postpartum and some of the things that we go through as women after just having a baby that are completely out of our control, you guys. Kind of just comes along with giving birth and bringing new life into this world. But before I get started, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell so that you guys are notified every single time I post. You guys don't want to miss a video. I plan on having good content coming back to back all 2023. So before I get into the video, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate the subscribers that I already have and the supporters that I already gained. It's really appreciative. And I also hope you guys' New Year's is going well so far. It's only been a week into the new year, but hopefully you guys are starting the new year off with a great start. So let's get into the video. So as you guys know, I did film, I guess you could say a little series with 3 different parts about pregnancy and birth and bringing the baby home. And that was my experience in 2020 with my daughter, who is now a toddler. She's 2 years old, for those of you that didn't know. And I wanted to touch on postpartum, because it's something that is very real. It's something that definitely happens in most women. I won't say all, but in most. And I want to tell you guys a little bit about my experience. Now, before I get into it, I did not really experience it that much in depth, which I was lucky. But like I said, there are plenty of women out there, almost every woman that delivered a baby usually has some sort of effects of postpartum, some sort of dealings with it. So I thought it was important to talk about, because it's important. It's an important topic. It's a touchy topic. It's an emotional topic for most women. And like I said, it's something that we get into, but we can't control. Kind of just happens. And sometimes you have to kind of fight depression, like, to get out of it. You know what I mean? So I wanted to talk on that today, and I hope you guys enjoy today's video. So let's get started. So those of you that know, when we have babies as women, it is very trying on our bodies, meaning our bodies go through so much in that time period. So not only do we carry for 9 months and our organs and everything is moving around to make room for that baby, but it's also a mental thing to it, you guys. Like, some women aren't mentally ready. Some women don't know how to mentally prepare themselves for pushing out an entire human being, you guys. That's a big deal. I remember I used to sit and think, like, wow, I wonder what it's going to be like when I have children one day. Can I even have children? Like, can I do it? Like, can I really push out a baby? I remember those days, like, where I used to sit and really think about those things. And then my day came in 2020, and I did it. I was like a superwoman. I felt like a superwoman. And I think all moms should, because it's something that not everybody can do. And it's also something that it's just phenomenal. Like, the fact that we can bring life into this world. Obviously, with the help of our partners, we can't produce babies on our own. But the fact that we actually push out and deliver a child and bring them into this world is amazing. Like, we carry them, they grow within our bodies, and we bond with them from the womb. I think that is such an amazing thing, which I'm sure most women do. But that's something that I personally was so fascinated about, and I still am. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I think it's such a blessing. And if you're able to have children, you should feel very blessed because not everybody is able. Um, so I just wanted to say that as a little start to this talk. Um, but getting into the postpartum depression, not even only depression, you get postpartum anxiety, postpartum depression, you get postpartum hair loss, like all 9 yards. So I'm going to touch a little bit on each topic. So for postpartum depression, like I said, some women aren't even mentally ready for that. They might think they're ready, like, yeah, I want a family, I want a baby, but sometimes mentally they're not ready. And it takes for them to actually get pregnant where they see that clear blue test come back positive or pregnant. And then it's like, boom, reality hits. They're like, oh snap, this is happening right now. And sometimes it's like a mental thing, like where they're like, they get into this mental depressed state. It can happen while pregnant and also after delivering the baby. Reality hits and it's like a mental thing, like it affects you mentally. For me personally, my story, I was prepared and ready mentally. I was super excited. I couldn't wait to meet my baby girl, and me and her dad both were ecstatic. We could not wait to meet her, as well as my family. We all were so happy. So for me mentally, it went well because I was mentally ready. I was mentally prepared. It's something I knew I wanted, and I did it. But now as for the labor part of it, that messed with me a little bit mentally because, like I said, you're delivering a whole baby. Like, I don't think people understand how phenomenal that is. You're delivering a whole baby. So you have to be mentally ready and mentally prepared for that. You have to prepare yourself that your body's going to feel like jello when you're done pushing that baby out. Your body's not going to look the same for a while. Sometimes it takes women 2-3 years to get back to how they were. You have to mentally prepare yourself for restless nights. You have to mentally prepare yourself for a whole new responsibility, a priority, just a change in all aspects of your life. Work, your household, your relationships. It's now about that baby, you know? So that's something that you also have to mentally prepare yourself for. And sometimes that doesn't kick in during pregnancy. Sometimes that kicks in right there in that labor room where you're pushing the baby out and you're like, in less than an hour, this is going to be real life. Like, this is going to be reality. Once this baby comes out of me, boom, I'm like right into a new life, just like that. So sometimes women aren't mentally ready for that. They aren't mentally prepared for that. So I just wanted to touch on this topic because postpartum is real. It's something that we definitely go through, something that is completely out of our control. And sometimes we could think we've prepared ourselves so much for it, and still we're not prepared. Once it comes, we're still shocked. Once it happens, we're still like, oh snap, what do I do? Once it happens, we're still like, oh snap, I need help. So, that's just something that, it's real, and I think people should treat more with kid gloves because it's a real thing, Yeah, of course you might think, well, you just had a baby, you should be excited. Yeah, you should, but some people aren't. Sometimes babies come unexpectedly. Sometimes they're not always planned. Sometimes babies come, from a traumatizing experience. I won't say what traumatizing experience is, but if you guys use your head, you guys know what I'm talking about. It's not always planned. It's not always with your partner that it happens. Sometimes it's from detrimental events in your life that you end up pregnant, and you'd rather have the baby than to abort the baby or to give it up for adoption. So it's not always something that you're going to be ready for. It's not always something that you're mentally ready and prepared for, until that baby comes out, and then you're like, I have to kick into gear, and that's just the reality of it. So that's the mental portion of it. Like, we just have to try to get mentally ready, even if we're not. And if we're not, going through the motions of actually taking care of that child once we've had them will help us get ready slowly but surely, But like I said, for me, my experience, I was already mentally prepared and ready because I was ready. I felt like I was ready. Me and my partner, we wanted our baby when we had her, So it was a complete blessing, and we were super ecstatic about it. And I hope that, most of the moms out there today, young families like us, you guys are ready when your time comes too, because it could be a beautiful experience. It's a beautiful thing. It's a blessing, and you make the best out of it, and you put on your big girl pants and your big boy pants, and you do it, and of course, with the help of family and friends, obviously having support is very helpful. And that also helps your mental, like, you feel a little bit more mentally stable with that support on your side, you know what I mean? Also, so aside from the mental part of it, then there's the postpartum depression, where that usually kicks in after the birth of your baby. Like, sometimes for women it's a couple of weeks. Sometimes it's a couple of weeks after giving birth. Sometimes it's immediately. Sometimes it's a couple of months later. You just never know. You're welcome. You just never know. Now for this part, for me, I would say I wasn't really that much trapped into postpartum depression, but I definitely had a little peak of it. And for me, it was like 3 to 4 months after having my daughter. I want to say between 3 and 4 months. And then, but that was just like a little piece of it, and I snapped right out of it. And then I felt like it happened again when she was just before turning 1 year old. Then I felt like it happened again. But like I said, for me, it was just a little snippet. Like, it was like a 2-day thing, and I was over it. I was like, okay, that wasn't so bad. But yeah, you do get, you get caught up in it a little bit. And sometimes it's like it creeps up on you. You don't even expect it, or you don't even know when it's going to happen, but it happens. You could literally just be sitting on the couch watching a TV show and eating, and you feel sad out of nowhere. You just start feeling down. And like I said, some people would think, well, you just delivered a whole baby, like you should be happy. But yeah, you're happy internally, but I don't know, we just get like this depression just takes over, and most of the time too, it's our body changing. Like the fact that we're going through so much changes during pregnancy and after childbirth, and it's for so long, you guys. It's such a long duration. It's like we're bound to go through something. You know what I mean? Because our body is going through so much, like internally, you're changing every day. After having a baby, you have tender boobs, you're bleeding immensely, your body's super tender and sore for weeks, for months even. Not even that, the physical, your body changes physically, like the appearance of your body, but also internally, your organs and everything is moving back in place slowly. Your cramps are on an all-time high because your organs are moving, so it's causing your body to contract. The breastfeeding causes your stomach to contract. and you're just going through all this for however long it takes your body to heal. And it could like really bring you into this depressive state, where it's like, damn, I just had a baby, but I feel like crap every day. You know what I mean? And for some women, most women, it's pretty depressing. You know what I mean? Because there's nothing we could do about it. We can't stop the pain that we're feeling in our bodies. We can't stop our boots from being sore. We can't stop the bleeding. That all has to happen for our body to heal and get back to normal. Which is why I get so amazed at some of the women that have babies like 6 weeks apart. I'm like, how? How? Because your body is nowhere near healed at all. In fact, they say it takes well over a year for your body to get back to how it was after having a baby. So you're not healed after 6 weeks. So those of you that have siblings or know somebody that's 6 weeks apart from their siblings, God bless you, because that's not easy at all. But yeah, you kind of just fall into this depression without really being prepared for it. You know what I mean? There's no way to be prepared for it because it depends on how you feel, really. There's days that you don't feel like doing anything. There's days that you could barely get out of bed. There's days that you just want to lay around and do nothing. Not only that, aside from the body changes, you guys, you're sleep deprived. I mean, I think everyone on this earth has been sleep deprived before, especially after having a child. There is no sleep. You're up every 2 hours or whenever the baby wakes up, which is wee hours of the morning, usually. For me, my daughter started sleeping all night, like 3 months. So I was lucky, by the praise of God. I was lucky. Like at 3 months old, she was sleeping all night. And on occasion, she would wake up like from a dream or something. But other than that, she was sleeping good by 3 months old. So we were pretty lucky, but there are people that struggle with having their child sleep all night and, actually getting the rest that they need as well. So that alone can make you depressed and, you feel down sometimes, like just from being so tired, like your body is draining all of your energy from trying to heal and get back to normal. You know what I mean? And then aside from that, you have a bunch of doctor's appointments to attend for yourself and for your child. They have a ton of shots to get once they're born. You have to go to the gynecologist and get checked after 6 weeks to make sure things are looking the way they're supposed to. There's just so much that happens, and you could fall into a deep depression. You know what I mean? It's not easy. So that's the mental, that's the depressive part of it. And then you have just the part of parenting, like being a new parent for the first time. And this is even for parents who've already been a parent and they're having another kid. They still could go into postpartum depression just from the stress of it all. Like, I already have 2 little ones, or I already have 1 little one, and now I have an infant again to worry about. So it adds on to your priorities. It adds on to your daily task, I guess I could say that, which is all a part of your mental and your healing, and it's all tied into each other. So, when you fall into a depressive state, you can't really control it. It kind of just happens, and you deal with it and take it day by day as it comes. But it is a real thing, you guys. Postpartum is something that really happens. And then aside from all of those things, some women lose their hair. So those of you that don't know, when you're pregnant, your body is holding on to all those nutrients that you have. In fact, they're like doubled, because now they need the nutrients for you and then the baby inside of you also. So it's like doubled, which is why our hair flourishes. we get on all of this weight, like healthy weight in the right spice pop, places. And once you have that baby, and let's say you're breastfeeding, all that nutrients and vitamins and everything, it goes to the baby still. So now they're leaving your body because the baby's no longer connected to you through the umbilical cord. They're leaving your body and going through your breast milk for the baby. So that's something that I had to learn during pregnancy, and after having my baby, I had to learn that because I don't understand why I started feeling all weak all of a sudden. Sometimes you break out unexpectedly. Your hair starts to fall out, like literally. I was telling my friend this. Excuse me, guys. I'm like hiccuping in the middle of talking. I was telling my friend that you literally could be in the shower. Like, let's say you're in the shower washing your hair, and it literally could be like coming out in your hands. Like literally in your hands. Not like a whole excessive amount, but it's definitely more than just brushing your hair and getting little strands in the brush. Like, it's next level. Like, your hair just starts coming out and you're like, what the hell? Why is my hair coming out of my hands? That's because all the nutrients and stuff that you did have and your body was holding on to is now all going to the baby through your breast milk. So she's literally sucking it all out of you. In comparison to when you were pregnant, your body was holding on to all that stuff for you and the baby, which is why your hair flourishes during that time. But once you deliver the baby and you're breastfeeding, all of that goes into the baby. So it's literally all leaving your body and going to the baby. And now your body's like deprived of it at this point. So first it had too much or in abundance during pregnancy. And then once you deliver, now it's not enough because it's all going to the baby. So that part of it I had to learn, but that definitely can put you in depression also, because especially me being a hairstylist and a cosmetologist and being in the hair field as far as having a salon and things like that, and me having such a passion for hair, and that was definitely something that took me back. Like, what the hell? Why is my hair coming out in the shower? Couldn't believe it. My hair was so healthy and flourishing. And it still is, but this is something I went through after having my daughter. It was just changes for me that I was not expecting. I did not see it coming. And this is not something that every woman experiences, you guys. Everyone doesn't experience postpartum hair loss. Everyone doesn't experience postpartum depression. Like I said, for me, I only experienced it for like a little portion of my entire, whatever after having her. But some women experience it for months. You can even have postpartum depression well after a year of having a baby. And how I know this to be true is because when I take my daughter to the doctor, they still give me those little questionnaires on a piece of paper and ask a series of questions for the mom, and like, how are you feeling? Have you felt like this? Have you felt like that? How often do you have interest in doing things? How often do you, interact with your baby? How often are you sad? How often are you happy? How often do you cry in a day? Like, they still ask you questions like that to make sure that you're mentally okay to take care of your baby. And that's how I know that you still can definitely be in those predicaments well after a year of having a child. So those of you that didn't know, there's a little tea for you. I was actually worried about that. I was like, why are they still asking me these questions? Like, obviously when she was an infant, okay, I get it. But she was well over a year old, you guys. She was like a year and a half, and I was still getting these questionnaires at her doctor's visits. Like, how are you mentally, Mom? Are you okay? Are you doing okay? I'm like, yeah. But it just helped me realize, like, women do still go through it a year and a half later. So it can be that long, you guys. So like I said, luckily for me, I was lucky enough to only experience a little bit of it for a short portion of time. But I thought it was something that, is worth talking about, because obviously us women understand that we go through these things, but sometimes the men don't. And, it's just like raising awareness to be kind to a new mama, and, have that open mind, like, okay, maybe she's going through something. We might be a little bit more short-tempered, I guess you could say, because now there's so much more on our plates, and we don't do it, even though you're not doing it alone. Like, yeah, our partners are here to help. Yeah, our families are here to help us on occasion, but still, it's like a mental thing. We have to mentally prepare ourselves for this new life, for this new priority, for this new job. And it's like a daily thing now. It's going to be a life-changing thing for us as moms, So with or without the help, it can still be a little, like one day we're okay and the next day we're not. It happens, So that's just a little 411 to be a little extra nice to the new mamas, and if anything, thank them for bringing new life into this world, because that in itself is an amazing thing, and babies couldn't be born without us. So I think we deserve that little extra care and love and attention. And just so people understand, like, there's a lot that women go through. I mean, just the simple fact that we're bleeding like a slaughtered pig, you guys. No joke. Like, after having a baby, all that mucus and afterbirth and whatever you want to call it, that all has to come out. It's like our body cleaning itself out again, almost. And you bleed for like 3 weeks straight. I'm sorry if this is TMI for some people, but listen, this is a raw and uncut channel, and I'm going to be completely honest and transparent with you guys. You literally bleed like, I don't want to say like what, but yeah. So imagine that plus sore boobs for breastfeeding mamas out there. Breastfeeding is a whole nother task in itself. Those also bleed and tear, and they're dry, and they're super tender, super sore. Well, they're raw. Like, that's just the best way to put it. They're raw after breastfeeding consecutively. After like 2 days, they get raw, and they turn into scabs, and they peel, and they bleed, and we still have to feed through the pain. Because obviously you can't say, oh, my boobs hurt, I can't feed my baby. Like, you still have to feed through it. And it's hard. It's not always easy. It's not easy at all, actually. And it's very painful. But we want to do what's best for our babies. You have no choice if you're solely breastfeeding, because you can't use breast milk. You can't use the formula if you know you want to solely breastfeed. So what do you have to? You have to feed through it. There's no option. So yeah, it's painful, and it's a lot to deal with. It's a lot to take in, So yeah, the bleeding and the breastfeeding alone is enough to drive us crazy after having a baby. And then you have to deal with sleep deprivation and getting only 2 hours of sleep at night, on and off. Every 2 hours you're waking up to feed the baby. Plus diaper changes, plus bathing the baby, plus you got all these new people coming in, usually to come and see the baby, family and friends. Me personally, I had her during COVID, so I didn't have any of that interaction going on. Those that came, it was strictly family members, and even that wasn't much because it was COVID, so I didn't want her getting sick at all, like no chances. So even that was like the bare minimal, like my immediate family, and that's it. But even that, it's like, I don't want to see anybody after having this baby. Like, I want to bond with my child, spend time with my husband and my baby, let us bond with her, and just, I guess, learn to parent together. You know, you don't even want to have visitors after having a baby. Like, literally, you are so crabby and cranky, and you just want to be left alone and enjoy your baby and get as much rest as you can while the baby's resting, because boy, are you tired for a while. It's like a few months. You guys are exhausted. Take it from me, I know. So yeah, even just having visitors after having a baby, it's like, ugh, somebody else knocking on the door. Yeah, okay, let them in. But it's like, go away at the same time. At the same time, you're like, go away. Like, I don't want to be bothered. You'll see my baby on FaceTime. I'll FaceTime you where you can see the baby. Like, you don't need to come here. Sorry, not sorry. But no, literally, guys, that's literally how it is. Like, you don't want to be bothered. You're in pain. You're sleepy. You're, like I said, wanting to bond with your baby and connect with your baby. And you don't want anything else interrupting that. Including other family knocking on your door to come and see the baby. So it's just a plethora of things that we go through after having a child. And you know, women that haven't yet experienced it, but I'm sure they know like what we go through as women having children. And then also for the men that haven't experienced it yet with their partners, or they did experience it, just be a little more mindful and a little bit more heartwarming to the new mamas and the moms that have already been moms, but having new children. Just be a little bit more mindful that we go through things after having kids. It's not just, you know, walk in a park and happy bliss. You know, like, we're mentally trying to prepare ourselves for this new life. We are going through physical changes all over, inside and outside. Like I said, our organs trying to get back in place and where they were. You're bleeding like a pig. Your boobs are sore. Your whole midsection is sore. For me, my entire body, head to toe, was sore for like 3 weeks. 3 weeks was unbearable, I should say. Then after 3 weeks, I still was sore, but it wasn't at an unbearable point anymore. It was more bearable at that point. But for like the first 3 weeks, I needed medication to feel better. Like, it was that painful. So just imagine, you guys, like, new moms are going through a lot as a new mom, you know? So I just wanted to do a little short video about postpartum and every aspect of it. The mental health part of it, the depressive stage that we can go through, your body's physical changes and internal changes, and our mood swings. Sorry. Just gonna say sorry for that now, for all the moms out there. I'm apologizing for us all. Yes, we're moody. Yes, we're crabby, but there's a reason. Like, just imagine being in our shoes. It's not easy. And then the postpartum hair loss. That's also not easy. That will make you go crazy, literally. So that's just a little clip on postpartum depression, postpartum in general. We all go through it, most likely 9 times out of 10, but some are less, you know, less harsh than others. But most women go through it for a long time, like a pretty lengthy period of time after having a baby. So if that could help anybody with understanding new moms and why they're, you know, on and off with how they feel, on and off with their personalities and their emotions, that's why we go through a ton of stuff after having a child. And kudos to all of us moms out there, all of us new moms out there. We know how to get the job done regardless. Oh my God. You guys, I just looked back and my daughter has my Vaseline all over her face. Ava, what are you doing? I have to show you guys this. Oh my God. What are you doing?
I know.
Where did you get this from? Mommy's purse? You guys, she has the whole jar of Vaseline. No, that's it. Close it. Give me the cap. Oh my God. Why did you put this on your face? Oh my God, you guys, look.
Come on, try once more.
I'm laughing, but this is really not funny.
Mama.
Why did you do that? Let me see your hands. Oh my God. I have to clean your face. You guys, she literally went in my purse, took my Vaseline, and smeared it all over her face. We need to clean that. Emergency 911. Come here. Oh my God.
What? Show me.
You guys. She smeared all the Vaseline all over her face and her hands. Come here, let me see. Let me see your face. Oh my God. Why did you do that, Poopy? That's not funny.
I know.
Oh my God. All right, you guys, I have to go clean that off, but I'm going to end this video out right here. And I want to say thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that little story about postpartum and my experience. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Say I have to clean the Vaseline off my face. Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.